Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and Happy New Year. It is the last day of 2019. What a year it's been. First off, I need to make my little disclaimer, whether it needs it or not. Some people say you should, some people say you shouldn't. I think I should. I don't have $42,000 to pay to a government extortion organization. So, this is an adults only conversation. This is a channel intended to educate the adults. And if you are under the age of 18, I would ask that you leave this channel now. I appreciate your time. Thank you. All right. Welcome. Kentucky Patriot, Dangerous Freedom. Margot, you guys are the first ones in the house. Good to see y'all. Um, the plan I have with this show is just kind of messing around a little bit of fun right before the next year, because it'll be obviously next year before I see you all again. So, oh, how time flies, and I'm creeping up on my year on this channel. So, y'all support and backing me on this has been awesome, and without you, there probably wouldn't be any need to do it. So, this channel has always been about you guys, not myself, and I appreciate everybody who has followed me on this journey. It has been interesting to say the least. Uh, so let me get my adult drink. Absolutely. Children are not allowed. This is a club, 18 and older, 21 to drink. So, um, Charles Wright, good to see you. Um, it's it's been an interesting year. There's going to be some new laws coming up in effect on as of tomorrow, and I'm going to go over some of those. Going to go over some of the news headlines that sparked the attention of us Patriots over the last year, and I'm also going to open the floor for anybody who wants to come on. Miss Mary, good to see you. If you want to come on and tell me your New Year's resolution, or you want to give a blessing to anybody, or say a prayer for the beginning of this year, this is a show for y'all. I want to, if you want to come on, you want to say something, I'm going to open the floor up shortly and put the link up there. All you got to do is, if you have Firefox, you tap the link, and I'll bring you on here, and you can say your piece. Matthew, good to see you. Welcome. Um, I'm trying to give it just a couple of minutes, see if we get some more folks in here. I know there's a lot going on today, people getting ready for their shindigs tonight, so I don't expect a capacity crowd by any means on this show this afternoon. But I wanted to do it nonetheless because, like I say, it's going to be a whole year before I see you again. Oh, it's, 2020 is so far away, and it's going to be an interesting year. We're going to have some reveals, I believe, coming up this year that are going to get some attention. No matter how hard the people try to squint their eyes and force themselves to stay asleep and follow the crumbs of illusion, the reality is going to smack a lot of people in the face this next year. And I'm I'm looking forward to it because I've known a lot for a long time, and I see everybody in adrift around me, and not you guys, of course, the patriots that follow me. I think you guys are quite awake, according to the comments I get on some of these presentations I do. I absolutely believe that. Ancient Drummer just jumped in here. Good to see you. James Torlini or Torline, welcome. Jacqueline Bird or Jackie Bird. Jacques Bird, I think. Yeah, thanks. I like my Patriot shirts. It's one of my favorite things. Is my American flag. I'm, I respect it a lot. Dennis, Donnie Newman, good to see you. Welcome. But yeah, strangely enough, with these shirts, it just so happened that my mother went up north to see my sister, and she four uh, found Patriot shirts in a grocery store, and all smiles. Good to see you. Me too. Uh, yeah, This is half of my flag garden. I actually have my Gadsden flag hanging up behind my other chair, and my American flag and POW flag are down behind me, and I do that with the intention of sharing some of the world around me sometimes, because during the day I get a lot of bird activity behind me, and it's kind of fun to watch. We get squirrels and birds and uh, rats and all kinds of stuff. At night, we get a lot of possums and raccoons. And I've got them to the point where I can call to them and they'll come to me and let me feed them. So it's nice to live out in nature and to enjoy the animals around you. Patty, good to see you. Eldon, welcome. Robert Verhey, good to see you too. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Indiana, okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're approaching nationwide, and the I think we have several patriots that are from other countries that join me too. So it's really cool. It means a lot to know that there are that many people that are interested in what I have to say, and I do my best uh, to bring it as real as possible. I try to put humor in things sometimes, because if you don't laugh, then I think you're just basically gonna freak out. So it's important to laugh as well as get serious about things once in a while. Um, that's awesome. Loves God's critters. Yep, me too. C. That is a difficult name to remember, but good to see you. See you. Okay, I'll have to remember it by saying good to see you. Okay. See, jokes. Anyway, it looks like, oh, Fred just jumped in here. What's happening? Get up there, pup. All right, now we're just about ready to go. Dog's getting in his place so he won't bump my table. And all right, um, insert your name here. Okay, I state your name, and therefore you done. As you guys know, I am still accepting donations for my Virginia quest. I am marching to Virginia. I've had some incredible people donate to that effort. Um, I've always made it clear that I don't do this channel for money. That's not my goal. And I know that sounds contradictory to what I have posted underneath me right now. But the reality is that I want to be able to participate in these events that are happening throughout the country. My wife and I are going to get even more involved if finances allow. But we live completely on a disability income, so doing the shows, doing the YouTube is fairly inexpensive. I can handle it. I haven't had any issue with that. But hello, Tony. Um, Deidre, good to see you guys. Luciano, welcome. Um, Happy New Year. But anyway, so yeah, I can afford to do YouTube. I've bought my equipment, paid for it for a few months, and then paid it off. So my equipment is paid for, and the amount that I have to pay for monthly subscriptions and stuff like that, all covered. I don't I don't need anything for that. But if I'm to participate in significant uh, acts of insurrection and civil disobedience, such as Virginia, those are things I could not do without the help of my fellow patriots. And nothing can express how grateful I am to you guys for coming forward and offering your hard earned money for me to represent you in Virginia. History B, Happy New Year. Good to see you. So, that being said, my link is not in the description. No, not yet. I'll put it in there after I shoot this. I should have done it beforehand, but Fred's got it posted there for you. Um, yeah, I should have done that before I came up, but it'll be here as soon as I close out. Then I'll get that on there. Also, my email is always going to be in all of my videos. I'll have information under my veterans issues, veterans affairs. I always make sure to have all the pertinent phone numbers for veterans to get in contact with people that they need to resolve problems and things like that. And so all of my videos will have my email for sure, though. And maybe this year I'll be looking at getting a PO box. I had my address on here for a little while, and a lot of people freaked out saying, "Oh my God, you shouldn't put your address on there." But the reality is, I don't really think it matters because everybody knows who the hell I am anyway. All you have to do is look me up, and I think my firstborn is listed, my home address, everything. So there's no hiding from anybody, and I don't worry about the Antifa idiots coming out here because I live far enough out in the country that their mothers won't give them a ride and drop them off. So also, all of my neighbors out here have each other's front porches ranged from their front porch for distance and calibration. So you come into this neighborhood or this country setting out here and start screwing with neighbors, then you're liable to get hit by something you never heard or didn't know it was coming. Pete the Patriot, good to see you, brother. Um, anyway, so that being said, I'll probably put my address back up here. If you guys want to send me articles, if you want to post things on my email, you know, if you want to send little trinkets, stuff like that, whatever. I mean, whatever. It's totally up to you guys. Just I want to be able to have the interaction with the people that I surround myself with, and I've never been a real good socialite. I've always been an introvert. I went through 12 years of school barely speaking probably 20 words, and I know that's really hard to believe, but I've always been quiet. I kind of changed that when I joined the army because you sort of have to speak. If you don't, you can have a very miserable existence. So I've always been a listener. I've always been a learner. I just feel like I need to spend my time listening to what others have to say if I'm ever going to learn anything, and I've always done that my whole life. Patty, I appreciate you. You are a great person too. It's all of you guys, all of you that hang out with me. Jeff, good to see you, brother. R-rated conservative, welcome, happy New Year. But anyway, just look up Crazy Guy with Cat Sanctuary, and you'll find me. All right, the Crazy Cat. Would we say lady? Or would we call you? I don't know. Have any idea? We need a liberal in here to define what terminology we're supposed to use. I hope that's okay with everybody. I didn't mean to do that. I should be real careful with that kind of stuff. But anyway, when I get to Virginia, I'm if you approach me and you want to say hi, I'm a great guy, but I may at first be a little startled because I'm not used to people just calling out my name or whatever because I've never been an out and about kind of person. But don't take offense if I seem startled if you call my name because it it's just the way I am. And once you acknowledge yourself, then it's like, hey, all right, cool, nice to meet you. Hey, Lynn, good to see you. Um, we don't get offended. Thank you, History B. I don't get offended either. Man, it would take some real serious effort to offend me because I went through basic training when the drill sergeants could still slap you and smack you in the bridge of the nose with a round brown while they're yelling at you, and I can handle an awful lot. So I I don't get offended. I may laugh, and that might offend somebody else if they're trying to offend me and I laugh at them. That it kind of makes them even more mad. You'll call before you come over, okay? That's cool. Right on. Just answer the door. May I help you? But no, I wouldn't do that. You, anyway, Colleen, good to see you. All right, we got a few people in here. We got 25 in the house. I want to take a few minutes. I want to, if somebody wants to come in and give me their New Year's resolution, I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. Let's let's see what people have on their mind. I'm curious about your New Year's resolutions. If you have a blessing you want to put forward to somebody for the new year, if you want to give a prayer, if you want to do something, jump in here. I want to hear from you. We'll go over the news from 2019 and the laws that will be coming into effect shortly. And I'd like to hear what you guys have to say uh, first. Rebel Jack, good to see you. Is that why UPS wears brown? Um, not sure. I must have missed the punchline. But oh, come on! I know somebody wants to come in here and say something. You guys are so shy. Talk about me with being an introvert, and you guys are all like, "Oh, I don't really want to go on TV." But don't worry, I wouldn't do anything to embarrass anybody. Um, yeah, your dad talks about his drill sergeants. Yeah, mine. Really funny story when I went through Chrysler Imperial. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Um, when I went through basic the first day when we were being introduced to the hell on which we were going to be put through, everything was laid back and relaxed, and everybody's happy-go-lucky, nothing real serious. And we had uh, Ringo, welcome. We had a drill sergeant that I swear must have been bred with a mouse. This guy was one of these would talk like this real fast. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about your opportunity in the Army. And, we're going to get into this real quickly. We're going to start introducing you to drill sergeant real fast, real mousy, really hard not to laugh at this dude. But after he got done with his little spew, he says, all right, without further ado, here, I want to introduce you to the drill sergeant. He's going to be the one teaching you how to be a soldier. So he introduces our drill sergeant, and, everything I believe is rehearsed in basic training. Nothing is done by accident. And our drill sergeant was as big as a house. This dude was absolutely enormous. I think he had to have custom uniforms made. But he points over his shoulder, and you could see there's a decent sized tree on the side of the building of the barracks. And on either side of the tree, you saw shoulders. And it wasn't a small tree. The tree was probably as wide as I am sitting here, maybe wider. And this dude's shoulders stuck out on either side. He steps around that tree, and it's really funny because I think this guy learned how to clap because he had great big mitts for hands, and he would clap those hands, and it would echo between the barracks. It was really funny. It wasn't funny at the time. It was a little kind of one of those, but he clapped those hands, and it echoed back and forth between the barracks. And then that big monster-sized dude started talking, and everybody did an industrial crap. This dude had a James Earl Jones voice with about 3 octaves lower. Comes out there, hello, privates. Just real thundery deep voice, and it was one of those things where, when you're brand new, you're just a little skinhead, recently had your head shaved, and scrawny and not aware of anything, and all of a sudden you get introduced to this dude, and you realize you're dead. You just have not quite expired yet, and your funeral hasn't been prepared. So anyway, that was my day one experience in basic training, and I thought, looking back on it, it's it's hilarious to me because I survived everything and went through with flying colors. But it's amazing how basic training can change a person. But thunder cracks when he sneezes. I've seen some people like that break windows. All right, so nobody wants to come in and give me their New Year's resolution. I find that fascinating. But I'm going to put that link out there one more time because I think somebody's going to give in. Their New Year's resolution is going to be to jump in and give me their New Year's resolution. So then they'll be able to accomplish their New Year's resolution. You see how that works? Um, anyways, let's see right there. Benny Mobby, how you doing? Or maybe we don't know how to say your name, but I'm sure it's something close to that. You're driving, Tony. Well, don't call me. I won't even call you. No calling while driving. So, won't be doing that. I wish I'd joined something. You can join me. Um, Pete the Patriot watched your new video. Yeah, he's got a couple of good ones up there. I mean, not all of them. It's Pete, but a couple of them are pretty decent. See what I did there? I try to antagonize, so he comes in there. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, and he'll come into my live feed, and once I get him in here, I can tell him, oh, I was just kidding, and then he'll have an opportunity to say something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody who has joined me. Let's welcome Dangerous Freedom. How are you doing, brother? Good to see you. I got to throw these on.
Hey,
now Chat. I can hear you. Welcome, Eric Chenault. How you doing? Oh, drop it like this. Scott just dropped in here. So, what is your New Year's resolution, brother?
Well, actually, I mentioned it earlier.
Nobody cares. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, please go ahead.
So, I figured this year I've been shooting off a lot of ammo for the last few years, and I figured it was time I just got into my own reloading. So
that's a good idea.
That's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start with pistols, and then once I get good with those, I'll work my way up to rifles.
Now, my curiosity is, have you looked into this yet a little bit?
Oh yeah, I've been watching reloading ammo, reloading videos. I've got a lot of friends that have reloaded in the past, so I'm not starting this off with a blind eye.
Oh, okay. DM just jumped in here. Good to see you. Also,
oh yeah,
saw somebody else.
Yeah, Lone Star, my brother Lone Star out there in Texas. Hey, that was some good shooting.
Hey, how are you,
church, man? Holy crap, that was some really good shooting.
Now, when you are looking at doing reloading, because it's something I'm seriously contemplating. My brother-in-law actually found a reload kit with the dies and the taps that will work. All I have to do is get the press and
yeah,
get the stuff to mix it.
Well, but, yeah, and plus, well, you got to know how much powder to put in.
All of it, right?
Yeah, you just dump it into
all
of
it,
right?
Yeah, just tap
you don't
want
to do that.
No.
But,
I'm just curious. I'm curious if there is a specific type of brass when you go to buy your rounds. Are you looking for something that is more critical for use in reloading, or really does that matter?
From what I understand, most like pistol calibers, you keep the brass. You check it for like stress fractures, but normally you can reload them 2-3 times safely. But even my friends that have been reloading for like 20 and 30 years say after the third one, you don't even want to try it again. The same with rifles. Yeah, they say you don't want to push it more than 2 or 3 times usually, but still, that's still pretty good. And
yeah, that would save a fortune.
Dude, tell me, I've got 1000s of rounds, dude. I know how much it costs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been building it. If anybody's interested, drop it like it's Scott. Shirts are available. Yes, folks, get over there and drop it like it's Scott, because we all need a little bit of plugging once in a while. I'll plug you in. Um, yeah.
Wait.
Anyway, so
Was it Pete's birthday yesterday?
um,
Pete, happy belated.
well, he got away without saying anything about it. Well, happy birthday, Pete.
You sneaky monkey. Well,
Yeah,
happy.
everybody, it was Pete's birthday yesterday. So how you gonna hide from it now?
He's probably
I
blushing.
saw WTF jumped in here. So what?
Okay.
Vert the Fert, what happening? Welcome. Anyway, so yeah, it is something I'm looking at too. I'm not sure where my source will be for powder and packing and stuff like that. And frankly, I haven't even looked into the prices of presses yet. But I've got all the dies. I've got every die that I need for the type of rounds that I already use. So it's just
and I bought. Yeah, I started with 40 because that's my most common pistol, and I ordered the press is like a generation or like a part 2 kit. So it's got the press, the powder scale. It comes. Oh man, it's got all kinds of stuff. But yeah, the press is only about $150.
Really? Yeah, I have no idea how much the dies were, but my brother-in-law was giving them. I mean, these things were brand new in the box, and somebody, I guess, had them in the garage or in their storage unit or something. Never even been used. But I have no idea what a set of cast and dies are for a press.
Yeah. And
I just haven't even started pricing it yet.
Oh, well, when I bought the dies, it was a set of 4, and I think I paid about $30, maybe 35 for them from Lee.
Well, I guess that means I saved about 30 or $35. I kind of like them numbers. I like saving money more than I like spending money.
That's a few boxes of ammo right there.
No kidding. Yeah, I definitely need to work on mine. I don't have as many as I'd sure like to have, but I don't tend to waste them. That's one thing I've been absolutely blessed with is I'm a crack shot. And my mother's name at birth was Holiday. So turns out we are directly related to the Holiday family. So somewhere in there, I must have been able to get some of that Doc blood in me. But the first time I ever fired a round, I fired it right through the center. And I didn't even know there were sights on the rifle. I didn't know anything about it. I just shot around. But, lucky for a shot, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Some people are just born with it. I mean, me personally, I've always been a pretty good shot. But I've noticed that when you stay practiced, like even me, I dry fire train all the time, at least daily. I dry fire train, and it just makes all the difference. When my normal carry gun is only 8 rounds. Plus, I keep an extra mag. But it's not how many rounds you got; it's how well you place those rounds. Like just like that Texas shooting.
Right.
Texas shooting, it only took 1 shot to end the threat, and that was an amazing shot that guy took.
Yeah.
You saw that video,
that's
didn't you?
The thing. Oh yeah, I have. I feel really bad that this keeps happening, and the choreography behind it and the timing is one thing that has just pissed me off to no end. I mean, at some point we got to get a grip on this, and the cabal uses these things for their narrative, and we all know that. So if we know that.
But in this case, it kind of goes against their narrative to where the good guy with the gun actually stopped the threat. It could have been a mass shooting had nobody been armed. So it goes against their narrative. That's why I think here in the next week, you probably won't hear anything more about it except maybe on Fox and then on YouTube. I bet CNN and just gloss it over.
I think that they were expecting more of a bang for their buck. I really do. I don't think they were expecting the retaliation action, but it's they may have also. So it's just the whole thing is just convenient timing, and it really frustrates me. But what are you gonna do?
I
I
don't
just
know.
saw that. Let me see here. Tigger jumped in here. Good to see
Hey,
you.
hello,
Welcome.
Tigger.
Yeah, I got 30 people hanging out with me on the last day of the year. That's pretty cool. So, you got anything else you want to share, or you want to,
Well,
badmouth anybody, or open to anything?
no, we do that
Yeah,
dangerous.
mainstream media crickets.
I think
Yeah, no.
everybody.
Please give yourself a plug.
But
I have no qualms about it.
But you know what? If you ever want to come on, all you got to do is just let us know. I mean, we're not above letting people on. In fact, we like having guests. I mean, get to know more people in our community, and that goes for everybody in the chat too. We've already been on with Donna and with Kelly, and I mean we've been backstage with you, but um, yeah, it's nice to get to be able to talk face to face, and like somebody said earlier, it's good to see the face behind the name, you know.
The face behind the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to see my face behind the mask. I already have a face for radio. It's hard enough for some people to have to sit through.
All right, Tigger.
My dad used to always joke with me because I look just like him, and it's a little frightening. I wonder if their science was advanced and my dad just made a clone, because our pictures, as I get older, I start seeing him every time I look in the mirror. It's really weird. But he used to joke with me, and he says, "Boy, you look just like me. You don't sound the same. You got a voice for radio, but a face for radio too."
Oh, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, that was my fatherly love. Um, Unfortunately, I lost him 5 years ago, 2 days after Christmas. So difficult time of the season. But you kind of miss the old man, because you want to hear some of those insults once in a while, and you don't get to.
Yeah. So, yeah, my dad, he's out there in North Carolina, so I don't get to see him very often. I mean, I don't get a whole lot of time off work, and then when I do, I've still got the kids, the teenage kids. So I mean, it would be nice if we had enough money to just all of us go over there, but then we got to have somebody watch the pets, because we got a household of pets, and I'm gonna have to lock up my guns, but I don't like.
Yeah,
I almost
logistics.
prefer that maybe a neighbor held on to them for me. That way, somebody was always keeping an eye on them.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big advocate of using a concrete foundation and industrial bolts and welding to
Yeah,
keep the safe, so to speak.
yeah.
Because you're responsible for every one of those things, and if they get in the wrong hands and somebody does something stupid with them, personally, I don't think I could forgive myself. So mine are very well guarded. So, not that I have any, of course, you understand.
Oh, that's right. You lost them all in that last boating accident. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
What a
if you
shame.
remember, that's good. Yeah, it sucked. Boat rolled and off they went. So, but, all right, brother. Well, I'm going to kick you out of here, and I'm going to see if I can talk somebody else into getting it. But I think a New Year's resolution of repacking ammo, I might partially steal that one. I'm still looking for a good New Year's resolution of my own, so I gotta steal them maybe.
Well, if you do start reloading, we can communicate between each other and find out best loads and best brands. I know where to get the powder, and you're going to be able to get it just as easy as I can. Pete over there, he's probably going to have the hardest time in that state he lives in. But anyways, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thanks for having me on, brother, and thank you everybody in the chat.
As always.
I'm gonna pop right back in there.
All right, man. We'll see you in the chat. Happy New Year. All right, that was awesome. Dangerous Freedom, folks. Dangerous Deplorables is his other show. He does that with Deplorable Bobby. So if you haven't subscribed to them, then you ought to do that. Kind of a fun show. Personal little disclaimer: sometimes I'm listening and doing things in the background, so it's hard for me to sit down and hit the chat. So just there is support from me from my other channels, but I just sometimes I don't get in the chat. I turn it on and I continue to do my thing that I've got going on in the house. Anyway, so I want to. We'll hit a. Let's do one of these news stories here, based on 2019, and see what has been in our news. And then we'll have put the link back up and see if somebody else wants to come in and talk about their New Year's resolution. All right, right here it says it's hard to remember everything that happened in the year when every day feels like 10 on the news scale. Yep. But luckily, and maybe creepily, Google remembers. Google remembers everything. In Google's year-end report, the company tracked this year's biggest headlines and fake news. I might have added that. Online news moments. What news made the most commotion for the people 2019 according to Google? We're glad you asked. Keep reading to see the top 10 search queries that spiked the most Google this year. And let's see. Nope. Don't want none. I got 3 last week. The California earthquake. I think you guys remember that. China Lake's been shaken ever since. So, yeah, big things are coming to California, Pete. I just hope you got your preps ready. And just remember, you got a safe space on the other coast if you had to make a break. But yeah, microtoxins out of my body. My New Year's resolution. Luciano, that's a very smart thing. Yeah, there's some good detox stuff out there. So yeah, we are laden with poisons of extraordinary magnitude because of all the crap that we are exposed to. So yeah, good resolution. Equifax data breach and settlement. So nobody cares. The government shutdown. Yes, folks, that was number 8 in the news headlines for 2019. And it was the longest shutdown I think we'd ever experienced. And even though the left bitched about it, they were hoping that it would become a thorn in the heel of the lion, so to speak, and take out Trump. But it didn't work for him. Nothing they've thrown at him has been able to stick or anything because, frankly, the criminality is exposed on their side and not on ours or his. Can't say ours because I have enough issues with some of these Republicans. I have the same problem with them I do with the liberals, and I've made that clear in other videos. I think the whole system needs an absolute and total reset. Anyway, so another one of the headlines, number 7, was the bombing of the church in Sri Lanka. That was absolutely disgusting. Religion, should not be the grounds for war, but unfortunately it has been since the beginning of humanity. It's insane. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. Again, one of the twin foxtrots that happened, the El Paso shooting, and obviously, when I say that, it didn't mean that people didn't get shot. It meant it was choreographed, and the timing was right on top of legislation, like they always are. Disabled vets perspective, it's like my dad and mom said, the older you get, the faster time or years go by. Yeah, that's true. You blink and it's done. All right, next one, number 5. Copa America, I guess the soccer champions. I don't follow soccer, so nobody cares. Maybe somebody cares. All right, number 4 was the Area 51 invasion. What invasion? Yeah, a bunch of chickens. I guess they didn't want to test those new and interesting weapons that are created by the the black budgets of our deepest, darkest military complex. So nobody showed up. I guess a few people showed up, but it ended up becoming a tourist event for the local retail establishments. So they made out pretty well. They got a few bucks out of it, and that's kind of cool. But definitely um, a lot of gas with no balloon to put it in, so to speak. Um, the Antifa and the liberals, they're yappers. They remind me of rabid chihuahuas that are running around yipping and growling and snarling, and then all you want to do is just go, doink, back off, because they are all mouth. Um, they go after soft targets. They look for people that are vulnerable, like a veteran that was in a wheelchair. If you guys remember that, they went after that. Um, I use a walker myself when I'm out on long when I have to be out for a while because my legs are just too weak to hold me up for any long period of time. But I'm I would love to have them consider me a soft target because this old man on a walker would educate them on the fact that you don't need strong legs to to use unique fighting skills unintimidated. All right, and then on number 3 here, it's Women's World Cup, and we remember that because of the idiot that's the captain of the team doing her anti-Trump rhetoric crap. So that was in Google. You notice the trend here. That's the Google is the one that's posting the top 10 news stories from 2019, and they all the news stories that I found have that liberal twist to it. It's it's like I'll have a drink of Kool-Aid with a twist of lime, please, because it's all sour and spicy and against Trump. And the next one here, number 2 was the Notre Dame Cathedral. That was upsetting. That was disappointing to see that happen. I mean, to say the least. But I think that when the truth behind that event comes out, it's going to be a lot more frustrating to people. There's a lot to that has not been allowed to meet the eye yet, and it's coming. I think 2020 is going to be the year of revelation, and I'm not talking about the revelation of the Bible. I'm talking about the revealing of a lot of very bad things that have happened to us Americans from the cabal and from the corrupt government. A lot of people have had a lot of bad things happen to them, and a lot of bad people have coordinated those events. So you got a 50 cal cane. Oh, I would love to have that. Thank you. I'll take it. You can just send it to my address, so that'd be fine. Anyway, Hurricane Dorian. That was a really bad deal. One of my favorite little villages in Florida, just the unique and quaint little fishing village of St. John's was evaporated. And if you look at old images of fishing villages, and that's what you got in St. John's. It was just a really neat place. And there wasn't anything standing except for a few mailbox posts of that entire village. And I don't know. I mean, it was gone. I hope that they rebuild, but the nostalgia of it, the shanty shacks, the look of it will just be gone forever. It's really sad. That was the number 1 story, though, was the that hurricane, and that was a ruthless hurricane. But it also, again, if you want to talk about the conspiracy theories of 2019, just remember that when the CIA created the words conspiracy theory, it was intended to suppress truth. So when somebody says it's a conspiracy theory, you can bet that it has a relatively large element of truth. But you got to look up weather warfare, because that hurricane got juiced up pretty bad. It was going to be, we up to about a category 3 up here. I mean, if you don't live right on the coast, you just get your extra beer and your dry goods and you get ready for your hurricane party. There's really nothing to worry about. But that thing got amped up to a nuclear level, and it just the thing that came to my mind was weather warfare. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, that's the Google's attempt at the top 10 of the news headlines from this year. And there is the link once again coming up there. If you want to come on and tell me what your New Year's resolution is, you want to give a blessing to other people, you want to say a little prayer, do whatever you want. Truth Not Fiction Matters. Matthew, welcome, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, we're having the last gas of 2019. And just having everybody hang out. I'll put the link right there if you want to come in and you want to give me your New Year's resolution. I'm looking for a good one myself, so I'm even taking suggestions. But I guess you're supposed to think of your own, but that's too hard nowadays. But I'm sure somebody will have a good one. Anyway, so nobody wants to come on. Nobody wants to come see me. It's so sad. Tony has an excuse though. He's driving, so we don't want to talk to Tony, at least not until he's done driving. But was that rude? Might have been a little bit. But all right, so I'm about to dip back over into the headlines and the events of 2019. Just when I do go over there, I can't see if somebody jumps into my backstage. Come on, Pete. The hell are you sitting there for? Come tell me your New Year's resolution. Come say hi. Come give me the last gas of 2019. Unless you're chicken. I mean, maybe. We could give up smoking. Nah. No, I've been smoking for a lot of years, but I'm not planning on giving that up. That's my one crutch, and I can still hold my breath for over 2 minutes. And when I was smoking a pack and a half a day, I used to run 20-mile marathons. So I don't think it's really messing with me that much. I get a little bit of a smoker's cough as I get older, but piss on it. I don't want to live to be 100 anyway. I know that my body is going to give out in not too many more years. So I don't want to be dragging myself around and be a burden. So I'd rather go before I end up being a what do you call that? A dependent on everybody around me. But that's just me. We each have poison. Don't take my cigs. That's a good comment. Yep. Turkey leg. Good to see you. How's it going, everyone? And hello, Disabled Vets Perspective. Who's at? What? Where? Who? Oh, me. Right. Good to see you. Anyway, so nobody wants to come in and give me their New Year's resolution. All right, so I am going to go back to the events of 2019, and we're back. You guys didn't even think I went anywhere, did you? Now, this is, again, the biggest news stories of 2019, but it was not Google. It's the mainstream media. That's right, folks. Fake news at its finest, and the stories that they would recall as being legitimate. All right. Number one here, Australia legalizes same-sex marriage. Okay. That's fine with me. I don't give a damn. I am not one to judge, for thy will be judged. But, whatever. Their thing. And number two here, Qatar withdraws from OPEC. OPEC is a part of a criminal organization known as the Cabal, and it's a price manipulation tool using the petrodollar, but we won't get into that right now. So that was, what was that? December 2018, Qatar Minister of Energy Saad Shaida Al-Kavi announced that the nation would withdraw from organizations of the petroleum exporting countries. So that happened actually in 18, but I guess officially in 19. So next one here, January 3rd. Let's see. China accomplished the first landing on the dark side of the moon. I thought that Pink Floyd actually did that, but maybe I'm off. But let's see. China became the first nation in the world to safely and successfully land a spacecraft on the far side of the moon. That side of the moon never faces Earth. Interestingly enough, they have a picture of a rover sitting on dirt with light and shadow, light being cast upon it and a shadow. So I thought the dark side of the moon meant dark, but that's just me, and we'll see. Angela Rouse, welcome. Good to see you. All right, next one here. Brazil. Dam disaster kills over 230 people. Pathetic. Infrastructure gets ignored a lot of times because the cabal is too interested in lining their own pockets. We can refer back to Katrina for that. Everybody thought they were safe because, oh, they've got the levee system and it's been well taken care of, only to find out the money from the levee system was used on everything else but the levee system. Radio dark, Alex. Calms down. Yeah, kind of been quiet, isn't it? All right, next one. I don't care about the perfect place to stay. Advertisers. U.S. charges Hawaii with fraud. I don't remember that one. Adding to the trade tensions between the two countries. Huawei. Huawei. Yeah, look at the spelling, Mr. Alex. Charged Huawei with fraud. That's the cell phone company, not to be confused with Hawaii. You got to look at those numbers, look at those letters, and pay more attention. But that's what happens when you scan over something. Fuzzfort, good to see you. Right. Anyway, so Huawei was charged, and things are still going on with that one. They're still trying to get their power back, I guess. You were referring to the dark side of the moon. Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Next story here. First papal visit to Arabian Peninsula. All right. Whatever. I don't trust that man. I think he's a danger to the Catholic Church, but I'm not going to get into that. That's maybe something I do later, but something fishy about that man. But anywho, the next one here, Macedonia is renamed. Okay, I can't understand why that would be a major headline for the mainstream. Well, yeah, I can, because the mainstream media doesn't want to give you the news. They want to give you fluff or false information. So they'd rather talk about another country renaming itself than the fact that we still have thousands of homeless people living in America. So, whatever. Keep the sheep asleep. No, let's see. February 14th, suicide attack kills Indian security forces, sparks conflict with Pakistan. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the Pakistan-India conflict in quite some time. So, hard to say where that's going. I think when the cabal couldn't tease President Trump into getting involved with it, they lost interest in it, and that's fine, because we need to stay the hell out of stuff. This situation with Iran and the U.S. doing this tit for tat right now, I feel like the puppet strings behind that are being controlled by the upper echelon of the cabal, and they're trying to get us into conflict again. And I think Donald Trump is resisting that at all costs. We'll see, but we don't need another damn war. We need peace on this planet. It's the governments that want war, not the people. The people are told who to hate, and some of the sheep go with it. Others say, screw you, I'll make my own decisions. So we'll see how it happens anyway. Oh, just reading a couple of the chats. Try to keep up with that a little bit so I don't sound like I'm ignoring everybody. But let's see. Carl Lagerfeld dies. The iconic fashion designer who was the creative director of Chanel died at 85. Uh, Chanel number 5. That's what I know. That's what I buy my wife when I can afford it. You know, you save up like you would for a house, and then you get you a nice bottle of Chanel number 5, and you don't get it for her necessarily. Yeah, it's her gift, but it's not for her. It's for me because I love to stuff my nose in that neck so that I can smell that Chanel number 5. Is that so wrong? You are here with breaking news. Okay, I just saw that, Pete. I am coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete the Patriot. You interrupted me reading the most important mainstream news events of 2019. This better be breaking news. Good to see you, sir.
Well, I've been sitting backstage for like the last hour and 27 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. So you are well versed in the sitting of the backstages.
Absolutely.
I wanted to make sure that training was complete.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So, thank you for having me on, by the way.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat room. So yesterday, I got this in the mail.
I was there once.
Yeah, I got this in the mail yesterday. Official election thing. Okay. Now, for the last 20 years, I've been registered as an independent. I voted in every primary and every general election as a registered independent. Okay. So they sent me this card yesterday saying I am an unregistered voter. They unregistered me.
Imagine that.
Right? This is California. So anybody in California better pay attention to this.
They were purging the voter rolls.
Okay.
The only problem is when they were purging the voting rolls, they were purging the conservatives and the independents, I believe. I mean, that's my opinion, but I think that's what they probably tried to pull.
Wait for this one.
We'll purge the voting rolls. We'll get rid of these people that keep voting for these idiot Republicans.
It says, this is what it says on here.
Oh, of course.
To receive a no-party preference.
I get connection issues. Okay.
Right.
What now?
A no-party preference ballot without the presidential contest. No action is required. So if I don't resend this card in and register as a Republican, my ballot as an independent in California will not have the presidential ticket on it.
They're trying.
And
you gotta give them credit for that.
This is my options for registration. I'm going to show this. I'm not going to show my information, but I'm going to show this.
Oh, I see information.
Right?
No, those are emails. Never mind.
American Independent, Democrat, or Libertarian. Select one only and sign it.
Yeah.
So if you're in California, you better make sure that you go down to your registration office or go online and register to vote again, just to make sure, because this is Gavin Newsom's way of taking President Trump off of the ballot in California. Because if you do nothing, you won't be able to vote for him on your ballot.
It's a neat trick.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you. Also, God bless America. Welcome. Yeah, it's funny how that's working. We've got an assault basically happening on both coasts, and if people are complacent and just kick back and say, "Oh, well, it's not really bothering me right now," we're gonna have a real issue in our voting in 2020. So
absolutely,
people need to get out there and people need to pay attention. But yeah, it's getting out of hand. So, what is your New Year's resolution, sir?
My New Year's revolution.
Revolution?
I
noticed how you slipped that in there.
Yeah. Is to do what I do with an extreme more intensity. to get the message out about these people.
Dude, that's intense.
That is,
I could feel that all the way over here.
I'm serious. I'm serious. It is intense. These people are trying to destroy us, and everybody needs to know about it. So my New Year's revolution is to revolutionize the revolution.
Right.
How's that?
Well, I'm in total concurrence with that. I concur. I think I'm approaching my first year. I think I've got a month and a half or something like that. I got to double check, but I plan on doing even more here to try to get people awake. I want to start participating in these insurrection acts or these civil disobedience protests. I want to start getting more involved with the trying to correct the direction that we have started to go or been going for 100 years. It's time, and I want to put 100% more effort into that. So with the donations from my patriots and the good people that want things to change, I'm going to be at more of these events. I'm actually thinking about looking for an old van, and I've got an entire a whole shop full of stuff that I've taken off of boats, and I've got enough stuff to build a relatively nice RV, and I'm going to build myself a van, and Lisa and I will be getting involved with stuff. We'll travel to events, and then we don't have lodging and food to worry about, and we'll only have to worry about gas and keeping our equipment up. But that's the plan anyway.
That's good. That sounds like a good plan. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling that this year, this country is going to become under assault. It's almost like a buildup to something major. I don't know. It's just a feeling.
You kind of, like 1774 or something to that effect.
Something. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it gives me kind of an uneasy feeling, like something serious is going to happen, and it's already orchestrated. I mean, you and I have done shows on this, how things are already pre-planned and pre-orchestrated, and then we're put into effect.
It's amazing how you can predict it now based on the actions that you see around you. All of a sudden, you're starting to be able to predict the coming events. But I think you're totally right. Because 2020 is coming. The Democrats are facing a cataclysmic restructuring. They may be non-existent. They may go by way of wigs, and they're like the cornered dog right now. They're baring their teeth, and they're cowering a little bit, but pretty soon they're going to come out with teeth and claws. So they need an event. What it'll be, I don't know.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the event is going to be something big. It's not going to be mass shooting or something. It's going to be something that the whole country is going to feel the effects of.
Well,
I just have that feeling.
Patriot, Dave over there on Inglorious Patriot, Net for Truth. He came out last night, I guess 12:30 in the morning, with a pretty dismal prediction that came to him by one of his sources on the inside. He used to be in intelligence, and he still has a lot of people plugged in that help him get information. And the video he put out at 12:30, you ought to go look at that. If that is their plan, we're talking about both coastlines and a flyover of mid-country to exterminate, basically. So when you talk about big events, that's about as big as it gets. And Inglorious Patriot. You guys need to go look at his video from last night, 12:30, and just listen to what he has to say. Some things sound very unbelievable, but I don't put anything past these people because they are that crazy.
Is anything more ridiculous than what these people have been doing this entire year, or for the last 3 years, for that matter? Does anything really shock you anymore? Like this would never happen, like this would never happen.
Right.
I'm at the point where
made an interesting question.
What's
it says, disabled vet's perspective, when the Demo KKK rats go bye-bye, will they become another party or just lose every election from here on? They will become the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
They'll try running as Republicans, and they'll do their lying, which they are so profoundly good at. And then when they get elected, they'll change every position that they hold. So you got to really pay attention to the people when they're running for office, and don't fall for the trap, because eventually I think the party system is going to go away, and it's going to be either you're going to be a constitutional patriot or you're going to get the hell out. There's not going to be a happy medium kind of thing.
Well, here's a piece of breaking news that I thought I would never see this year. I'm shocked to even see it, and I'm going to announce it. DM the Mod has made a video premiering at 4 p.m. today.
You've got to be kidding.
I swear it's right there in the chat. It says, please check out my thank you video premiering at 4 p.m. That's more breaking news than anything I've ever heard.
I read.
I'm telling you, I see it right there in your chat. I will be waiting.
If it's on my channel, then it's got to be truth.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to 4 o'clock. It's an hour from now. That isn't for me. That's an hour from now. Woohoo!
Is it? Gonna be there.
Yep. So everybody who does not have the DM the Mod and is not subscribed, you better go, because this is like she made a video.
News. This
is breaking news.
Yes.
Wow.
12B Georgia. That's offensive. Thank you. I am so glad that I've been able to successfully offend you today. That makes my 2019 complete.
Hey, well, we did something right. We offended somebody.
Well, you go on here shortly, don't you? No. You said 7 o'clock.
5 my time.
7 Eastern.
Yeah. Or 8 Eastern. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some trivia questions tonight. No politics. It's the end of the year. We're going to have some fun, do some trivia games, give some Trump 2020 prizes away, stuff like that. Hang out, maybe have some guests. I don't know. See how it goes. But one day, no politics, and we're gonna just have some fun.
8 Eastern. Thank you, DM. Yeah, I'm on the Central Time Zone. I speak in twos. I keep forgetting it's 3 hours different from one coast to the other. But
and American Joe is doing a show tonight at 11 Eastern.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's the end of the year bash. All of the Patriots doing their last gas of 2019. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yep.
What's a conspiracy, Luciano? What did I do? I didn't even do anything.
I think he's probably talking about DM. But just remember, 1961, CIA created conspiracy theory to suppress truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when it says conspiracy theory, it means there's a significant element of truth.
Yep. Alrighty.
All right.
That's all I got.
It's awesome to see you. And we will be doing our Fact Fiction and Beyond on Wednesday night. So that'll be the next time we see everybody.
That's right. And I will get with you for the controversial subject later on. So you might not want to miss this one.
Oh, I won't.
All right, brother.
I won't
take it easy.
Late.
See everybody later.
All right. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have Pete the Patriot. If you don't, I would expect you to get over there right now as we speak and get that done. All right, so let's see, where am I right now? What am I at on my time? Hour and 10 minutes. Wow, that just kind of flew. All right, well, I'm going to go another, let's do another 20 minutes because I got a couple things on these year in review that I do want to go after, and then we'll do an hour and a half show. I usually don't do that, but hey, it's the end of the year bash. Let's get it done. Thank you, DM. Please, if you haven't subscribed to Pete, make sure you get that done right there in the link. She's going to be on tonight. It'll be fun. Do some trivia therapy. All right. I want to go over a couple of the proposals for 2020 that are going to go into effect in the midnight hour as we speak. It's a wave of new laws to take effect in 2020, electric cars, data privacy taxes, and more. So some of the things that are going to be going on in the new year. Let's see, key points. The new year will bring new charges for some owners of electric vehicles as states search for new sources of tax revenue. In other words, other ways to stick it to you. A Colorado red flag law will allow family, household members, or law enforcement to petition a court to have guns seized, going against the Constitution and the rights of the American citizens. I might have added that last part, but it's still should be there. A California measure described as the nation's most sweeping data privacy law will require many companies to tell consumers upon request that personal data they collect about them, why it's collected, and what other entities receive it. That might actually be the first decent thing of California that I've heard so far, but we'll see how well that goes. They've already got all your data and your information, so they don't need any more. That's the way I can figure that. Police use of force is one. Now, let me be specific here. These are federal laws that are going to kick in, not state. So if you want to know about your new state laws, I'd recommend you look up your California or your individual state and proposals for 2020. Anyway, so that's that. Police use of force. The nation's oldest law governing when police can use deadly force is being revamped in California. California, man. To become what the American Civil Liberties Union describes as one of the strongest in the U.S., California's previous law allowed deadly force when officers had reasonable fear for their safety. The new law will allow it only when necessary to defend against an imminent threat of death or serious injury to officers or bystanders, but it doesn't include a definition of necessary. It's not surprising. That is so vague. Good luck with that one, folks. Vaccinations. Touchy subject. The new California. What the hell? Is there another state in this union, or is it just California? A new California law will create greater state oversight of doctors who write medical exemptions for school children's vaccinations. The law generated passionate legislative debate and drew hundreds of supporters and opponents to the Capitol this past year. You can't fight a tyrannical government that owns all of the branches within itself. So no matter what you complain about, they just go, yeah, blah, blah, whatever. We're doing it anyway. All right, guns. Colorado red flag that will allow family. I just read that one. That's a new law coming out. These red flag laws, people got to get a grip. This is unconstitutional. It's illegal. It goes against your protections under the Constitution and it's extreme overreach by government. So people need to start protesting this stuff and not be hesitant. All right, so immigration. Hey, look, I found another state. Look at that, Arkansas. Arkansas will become the latest state to wade into the national immigration debate with a new law cutting off discretionary state funding for sanctuary cities that don't cooperate with federal immigration authorities. Other Republican-led states have enacted similar laws. By contrast, several Democrat states, they're not democratic. I hate that. That's a pet peeve of mine. Other Democrat-led states have adopted sanctuary laws restricting local law enforcement officers from asking about people's immigration status or notifying federal authorities when an immigrant is about to be released from state custody. We also have to make sure that when we refer to things, we refer to illegal immigration, because that's left out conveniently of every statement regarding immigrants, so that they can say even the people that have been here for 10 years or more, working on their citizenship, becoming a real American, a true American, flag-waving, God-fearing American, they get balled up in the same group as the ones who don't give a damn about our country, come over here waving the flags of their country, create organizations and no-go zones to keep Americans out of their clan. So, huge difference. God bless them if they want to become an American. I love them. I mean, my father came here as an immigrant from Canada and got his citizenship. And, my sisters were adopted in Japan. They have their American citizenship. So it can be done, and we need to quit balling them up together, separate the illegals that don't give a damn, and keep the ones that love this country. All right, voting. It's going to be a hot subject this year in 2020. A North Carolina law will alter the process to request and fill out mail-in absentee ballots in response to fraud investigations of the 9th U.S. House District race in 2018. That led to a do-over election in 2019. Now, that's something that should be happening in Virginia and Kentucky as well, because they found significant voter fraud. But in my opinion, I think that means that the voting should be just thrown out and a special election done with some significant oversight. And they don't do it. They just go, oh, no, we'll just let it ride. And that's why Virginia right now is being overrun by tyrants and needs to be put back in check. So we need to get on this voter fraud crap. People need to be paying attention. You see busloads of people coming in, follow that damn bus around. Find out where else they're going. Do your part. Get out here and protect this republic. Battery addiction, good to see you. Welcome. All right, opioids, drugs, man. People got to get off that shit. At least 7 states will begin requiring electronic prescriptions for controlled substances such as opioids. The movement to do away with handwritten prescriptions by doctors is one of many steps that states have been taking to try to curb the opioid addiction overdose. Yeah, because all you have to do is get a hold of one of those prescription pads. My father was a doctor. See you later, Patty. Thanks for hanging out. All you have to do is get a prescription pad, and you can scratch whatever on there, because you can't read a doctor's writing. So yeah, if they want to do that, they can get those prescriptions that way. So electronic prescriptions is going to help a lot. The VA does that, and it does make a difference. Going to be a big twin foxtrot here sooner or later. 12B Georgia, I fear that you are absolutely correct on that, and I think it's going to be super big, because that's where we are. It's no longer these little shootings that are choreographed are just not getting enough attention, so they need something that really gets attention. New England will also lose electoral votes and reps next year. That sucks. Invader Zim, welcome. I've heard Blue Helmet soldiers will attend. They better be careful. Not going to be any more specific, but they better be careful. That's all I can say. All right, privacy. California. Hey, guess what? It's California again. California measure describes it as the nation's most sweeping data privacy law. We already read that one. How did that end up in there twice? All right. Another one of our favorite subjects, the illegality of taxes. I mean, just taxes. I may have put the illegality in there. 20 years after voter approval, Massachusetts will enact the final reduction in a gradual state income tax cut. Good on you. The 2000 ballot measure was to reduce the state's 5.95% tax rate to 5%. It took them that long, 10 years, to come off 5%, or to come off 0.95%. So not even a full percentage. Wow. Good effort there, folks. You guys are rocking it. But lawmakers froze the rate at 5.3% in 2002 and passed a law allowing a more gradual step down to resume if the state hits certain revenue benchmarks. With those conditions satisfied, the tax rate is finally going to fall to 5%. All right, so you're getting a little break on your taxes. Paid leave. Employees in Washington can start applying for time off under the state's new paid family leave law. Businesses and workers have been paying into the program approved by the legislature in 2017 for the past year through premiums on wages. Starting 2020, eligible workers can receive 12 weeks paid time off for the birth or an adoption of a child, or for a serious medical condition of the worker or the family member, or 16 weeks for a combination of both. Washington is the 5th state to launch a paid family leave law, to be followed by Washington, D.C. in July. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, and Oregon have passed laws that take effect between 2021 and 2023. All right. So if you're paying into it like Social Security, they're going to have a big bucket of money. And you can bet that after a few minutes, they'll start dipping into said bucket of money to take care of their other pet projects, just like they did to Social Security. And you can expect this program to be just as broke in the new year, or within a short period of time thereafter. There it is. You see that bird just land above Alex's head? Yeah, good thing he didn't poop on me. But whoop, there he is. Yeah, I love our critters, man. We sit here, that's more on than our television. So that's our cat TV. All right. Now, Pete, are you still driving? Give me a yes. Give me a no. Give me a I don't know. With all the exodus from liberal states, they're losing representation. That's true. But here's the problem. They're also moving to non-liberal states, and then they're bringing their stupid ass policies with them. So they're taking the people that have good solid brains in their head, and they're turning their districts into shitholes. So I don't mind people moving like to Florida, but I don't like it when they try to bring their stupid ass policies from New York, so to speak, with them. If you want to move down here and you want to be a constitutional patriot conservative, then by all means do that. If you want to bring your liberal policies with you to another state so you can destroy it, you can get the hell out. I have no love for you. So that's the way I feel about that. We don't need zoning laws. They restrict folks from living on a cardboard box, which in turn devalue all land and saves taxpayers lots of money. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to do away with zoning laws anyway, in a lot of states, actually. I don't think that anybody needs to have anything to do with what I do on my property. I've always been that way, but I live out in the country, and we don't have homeowners associations, and our zoning and building laws, they get kind of pissed at me when I put up a structure or something out here, but I tell them to get over it. There's a little trick that a lot of people don't realize is you can build a lot of things without a permit, You can build, like, for example, a 12 by 12 shed. You can build one of those without a permit. But so what you do if you want to make yourself into a establishment, then you build a 12 by 12 shed, let it sit there for a month or two, and then build another 12 by 12 shed right next to it, and then maybe another one behind it and another one behind it. Knock out your interior walls, tie them together. You got yourself a house. So the system is designed with loopholes, and if you learn, study, and understand your system, you can live as a free American by using their own loopholes as your protection. So anyway, all right. So I am almost at an hour and 30. I was hoping to get Tony in here real quick. That's why I threw that link back up there, but I don't know if he's still driving or not. Too many freaks from New York moving to Florida, and Hillsborough County, where I live, is their main destination. That sucks, brother. It really does. I've dealt with some New Yorker liberals when I've been down there a few times, and I don't have patience for them. I tend to drop kick a few pleasantries at them that are not necessarily pleasant when they flip me attitude. Dangerous freedom. You can build a house from scratch. Right? Yeah, me too. Everything. All of my own electric, air conditioning, heating, everything. I don't have to hire out anything. Can't do the work physically anymore like I used to. I've still got this 340 square foot house. Is a 1930s structure, and just recently did a pretty big overhaul on it, but it's still not done just because I get worn out and unable to keep going, so things sit for a little while. Battery addiction, your daughter designed your house. Well, that's cool. But yeah, Tampa is awful. Yep. All right, folks. I think that's all we got. I was hoping I could squeeze Tony in here for a second, but he don't want to talk to me. But that's cool. Cool, Tony. Hey, no problem. I'm just yanking your chain, brother. No big deal. But why is there are UN base doing in New York? The New York is their corporate headquarters. I don't know the answer to that. I think they need to get the hell out of here. I think that if they bring UN peacekeepers, don't let that stupid phrase sway you. They are not peacekeepers. These people are soldiers from other countries. But if they bring them with the intention of doing things to the American people, then there aren't a whole lot of other descriptions that would represent a declaration of war than that. So you just got home from work next time. All right. That's cool, man. I'm just yanking your chain, brother. No big deal. But I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. God bless you all. People that are going to be praying for me in Virginia, just keep that going, because we wouldn't hurt to have a few built up in reserve for when I take it off, and my wife and I will be there. So I'll be looking out for her and looking out for myself and looking out for the other patriots. So anyway, if you want to keep making sure to build up some prayers for us, give us the armor of God that we will need to get through this. And also, if you want to help donate to that cause, I would immensely appreciate it, undescribably, like I've said. Tony, thank you, brother. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Really do. All right. I guess I'm going to let this go now, and I have to be willing to say I'll see y'all next year. I know it's a long ways away. I mean, we'll be a year apart the next time you see me. It's pretty bad. But anyway, thank you, everybody. It's been a kick-ass year, and God bless you all, and stay in the fight.